The first M is the mill, or the grinder dosing chamber, which features a hopper. The part that connects to the doser, which consists of a doser wheel, a chamber for the coffee, and a lever triggered and aided by a spring that helps the coffee fall in. And then there's the most important and essential part, the grinders, which can either be conical grinders or flat grinders. Here inside the hopper is the coffee's first point of contact. What is the hopper made of? It consists of a lid that must be kept on, so as to keep the coffee's carbon dioxide inside as long as possible. The hopper helps us feed coffee into and out of the grinding blades, and the most important thing is that it must be cleaned every week, because oil residues can quickly go rancid and give our coffee an unpleasant residue. The quickest way of cleaning it is to use the coffee machine's steam wand to basically dissolve any oil residues that may be on the hopper. You then wipe and dry the inside of the hopper very carefully, and then put it back in its place. Then we have a second part, which is the doser itself. The doser consists of a dose wheel, a lever triggered by a spring, which allows the lever to spring back and prepare the next dose. In the evening, it is very important to turn off the grinder at the right time, so as not to leave too much coffee residue inside the doser, and empty it every evening. Placing coffee residues inside a hermetically sealed container so as to clean the doser wheel every night. As I was saying, so as to remove any residues that are still inside the doser wheel. Coffee grinding doser chambers can be equipped with two kinds of burrs. Conical burrs that heat the coffee less and last longer, which need replacing after around 800 to 900 kilograms, or flat burrs which need replacing after about 400 kilograms of coffee ground. Among the various blends Costadoro offers, today we present Costadoro Coffee Lab, Master Club Coffee and Costadoro, all three blends certified by the INEI. Today we're going to use the Costadoro blend, packaged in a bag that at the moment makes it easier and more practical to explain all the steps and all the things you have to make sure of when using our grinder doser. So let's open the pack and pour the contents into the hopper. Make sure you always store packets of coffee in a cool place and always keep the grinder doser hopper lid shut. Now it's time to grind the coffee. How do we know if we're grinding the coffee correctly or not? We have another little rule to help us, the 25-second rule. That is, we have 25 seconds from when we press the button that pours 25 milliliters of coffee. If the coffee reaches 25 milliliters in around 20 seconds, it presumably means that the coffee hasn't been ground enough. If we reach 25 milliliters in 30 seconds, the coffee is too fine. On the dial here, we have some settings that indicate the position of the burrs, with a reference point that is marked on the grinder itself. Should we need to tighten the burrs and therefore make the coffee ground finer, we turn the dial towards fine to the right. Instead, if we need to make the coffee less fine, we turn it towards the left, towards grosso. Now we come to the coffee machine itself. The coffee machine is an essential tool for creating a good espresso. Here we have a coffee machine which consists of an internal boiler for heating water, the group heads, the steam ones for heating milk or tea or whatever else, and two pressure meters. The higher one, which shows the pressure in the boiler and the temperature of the water, while the lower one shows the pump temperature, and it is essential that this remains always between 8.5 and 9.5 atmospheres. Now you can attach the filters to the group handle, which you've left in water overnight, so as to ensure that any grease that may have still been attached to them, despite careful washing, has come away overnight. Make sure you always clean these without using detergents. Then rinse them carefully. Do the same with the filters. And now heat your 2 filters with the coffee machine's hot water. Now we move on to grinding our coffee. In order to ensure that you are grinding it correctly, fill up the first 4 compartments of the doser wheel so that, should it need adjusting, you won't have too much coffee ground incorrectly. Fill up the first compartment, then move it round and do the same for all 4 compartments, being quick to shut the hopper off after having filled the second compartment so that the burrs are empty, should you need to adjust them. The burrs are empty, and now turn off the grinder.